all our Arnold Son today is based on our heritage and making a modern take on historical English watchmaking. So it's very between keeping our tradition alive, because it's a very old 250 years tradition, and still making contemporary watchmaking. So for each single piece we developed, we always have an historical piece in mind, and we make an evolution, a modern take on it. We have one of our iconic models, which is the TBR, which was our first automatic True Beat watch, which was very inspired by this one. So if I take this one with a jumping second, I have here my watch with a jumping second, and just turn it around, and you are very close to my chronograph layout. I turn it this way, and you are very close to my TBR. So none of these watches is actually a copy of any existing, but still you can really see how 1 minute are accented. You have center stage for a central hand. Here we have even center stage for two hands, so chronograph hand and the deadbeat. As you can see on my pocket watch, I have only, if I can say, a deadbeat, and here I have in addition a chronograph. So we push it always a bit further than it was done in pocket watches, but we respect the style. Here we have a porcelain dial, and here we have a silver dial, because Arnold used both. So here I have a pocket watch with an email dial, but I can also have a pocket watch with silvery dial from Arnold. And if you look also these silvery, this enamel dial, they're also reflected in such kind of pieces. Obviously the dial is smaller, but it's a kind of same principle. So this is a very modern take on the very traditional dead beat. We call it True Beat for historical reason, because true is a true jump. And it's something very important for Arnold, as it's a traditional complication of ours. And it's interpreted in a very modern three-dimensional way, where you have three bridges really on top of the dial. Traditionally, you have watches with open dial, where you show something on a movement behind, but this movement has really been constructed to have all the complication on the dial side. So you have a big sapphire ring for the second indication, and underneath a white enamel dial for our 1 minute. And as you can see, it has a box, sapphire box, to give this great depth without making the watch too thick. And in addition, it's even automatic. Here we have our TBR, which means True Beat for dead beat, and retrograde date, which was the first combination into a wristwatch, and even a pocket watch is not known having a retrograde and a dead beat. And you can really see it's a modern take on what I've in my left hand, which is a captain watch. So starting from this, you can see our 1 minute at 9 o'clock, and we have a central hand. Both pocket watch and my wristwatch, which is automatic, have a True Beat, so dead beat, a jumping second, which jumps every second only, mechanically, which is challenging. Based on this, we also do have the chronograph, where again you can recognize the family to this watch and also to its automatic brother. Both are automatic, but this one is, as I said, just it's a retrograde and jumping second, and here it's a chronograph jumping second. So, and as you can see, we moved the hour and minute indication at 12 to have a different look, because most of our collectors, they buy several pieces, and each watch has its own right and is not replaced. So it's also why we try to have different dials to really give different aesthetics. And just to show you our ultra slim tourbillon, again, this one is really ultra slim, but again you can recognize the frosted finishing on the dial, the satin finished outer ring. So you can really see how this design can evolve between a retrograde jumping second automatic, a chronograph, and an ultra slim tourbillon. And all these watches, as you can see, have dark movements to complement the steel or palladium case. So with a very modern look.